real problem is that they never decide who the newsletter was made for, what the promise is that they've made with this newsletter to themselves and to the people they're trying to reach, or when it would show up. So every month they stare at a blank screen, write another generic market update or have AI write it for them. Send it to everyone in their database, and then they wonder why nobody applies. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to build a real estate newsletter people actually want to read and how to turn it into one of the strongest long-term growth channels that you own. I send over 10 million emails a month between Lab Coat Agents, A Brilliant Tribe, Tristan and Associates, and all of our other companies and the companies we help. I'm Tristan Ahumada. This is Your Daily Real Estate. It's a podcast. It's a show built to help you grow a stronger real estate business and a stronger you. If this is the kind of practical help that you're looking for, please subscribe, send this, or share this with somebody you think may need this, because we do this almost every day. So let's start with the most important decision. Choose one reader, not buyers or sellers or even investors, homeowners, agents. That's too broad. Choose one person in one clear situation. It could be homeowners in the Conejo Valley who want to understand whether now is a good time to sell or whether fall and winter of 2026 is a good time to sell. It could be families thinking about moving from Los Angeles to Ventura County in 2026. It could be first-time buyers trying to purchase in a specific city at a specific time with a specific type of loan. See, the smaller and clearer the audience is, the easier it becomes to create something useful for them. Now, think of it as social media, and then you're like, oh, so a newsletter works the same way? Yeah, because every year you can expand on it. The newsletter started in 2026, let's say, and then it evolved to 27 and 28 and 29. Same niche, just different year, maybe a slightly different approach. See, your newsletter needs one promise too. Try finishing this sentence. Are you ready? Think about this as I'm telling you. Every Thursday, you'll get blank. So you can blank. For example, here, let me put some words into it because the blanks I know get you sometimes. Every Thursday, you'll get a 5-minute breakdown of the Conejo Valley housing market so you can make better decisions about your home. That's it. That's how clear it can be. And it's a newsletter, and they know why they're tuning in. Now, they're not going to tune in every single week, but in a year, they're going to tune in 10 or 12 times. Someone can understand this newsletter. They'll remember it, and they'll share it. Think of my specific newsletter to the real estate industry. It's the 7+1. It's everything that I'm working on and doing and reading. It's 7+1, all Tristan. Or think about Tristan's real estate newsletter. What does that do? It doesn't tell the reader anything. Neither does Market Musings or The Real Deal, right? These are all names that are very broad. Now, if you're going to cover a national audience, then maybe, right? Maybe. But your name is not the benefit. The benefit is the benefit. Does that make sense? Now, here's the next place agents get stuck. They're afraid they'll run out of things to write about. In the world we're in, that's never going to happen, ever. You won't if you choose 3 content pillars. And this is how I do it. First, for most real estate agents, I would say, or I would have them use local market clarity, homeowner guidance, and local life or local lifestyle. Local market clarity explains what changed in the numbers and what that means. What that means is the key piece there, the interpretation, right? Homeowner guidance, that's number 3, covers costs, repairs, insurance, remodeling, taxes, maintenance, and the decisions people face when they aren't moving, right? And that's most of the time. People are living in a home for now a longer time. If you're in LA, you're living in a home for up to 18 years. That's before you sell it. So it used to be 5 to 7. Remember that? Local life covers restaurants, businesses, people, events, schools, and changes that are happening around town. That third pillar matters more than most agents realize. Most people aren't buying or selling a house this month or next month or even anytime this year, but they still care about where they live. Write down 10 real questions under each pillar. Now, you have 30 possible issues, but don't stop there. Create one running note on your phone or on a Google Doc or anywhere and start collecting ideas every day, everywhere you go. Add the question clients ask you or objections that you hear. Deals that almost fell apart that have a story behind them that others can learn from. Numbers that changed, whether it's the market or nationally or locally, and things happening locally. Like there's a new Starbucks that's opening here, and we already have like 5. So it's like every block, but still, right? That's local. People want to know what was being built there. And Cane's just opened here locally, which is kind of cool. There was a big line. Never finish a good client conversation without adding at least one idea to that note. At this point, you will not run out of great content that relates to people. Now, pay attention to this because it removes a lot of the pressure, at least from writing. Every issue should follow the same basic format. Ready? Start with one main idea, add 3 quick takeaways, include 1 local item, finish with 1 next step, and that's it. People don't need a 12-page report containing everything you know about real estate. What do they need? Well, they need 1 useful idea they can understand in about 5 minutes. Now, if you want to do a YouTube video and add it to your newsletter, that could be 10 to 20 minutes, right? But once you have the foundation, use a platform and move on. You can go to Substack, Beehive, Kit, it's KIT, or the email tool inside of your CRM. I know a lot of CRMs have that built in already. That works well too. You need a clean sign-up page, exportable contacts, a simple welcome sequence so people know what they're getting and who you are, and kind of introduced to your whole culture of newsletters, and numbers you can understand, like analytics, like what does this mean? Don't spend 4 months comparing platforms like, oh, I wonder if this is good. Just jump in. You can move your email list later. You can't get back the time you wasted researching instead of publishing. Your sign-up page should be pretty simple too. In fact, since Substack is free, you can go look at how they do it. It is super simple. Tell people the outcome, who the newsletter is for, how often it arrives, and 3 things they'll receive. As for their email address, not their entire life history, please. Then give them 1 button to subscribe. Make it as easy. Make it have the least amount of friction possible. After that, create 3 welcome emails. The first email delivers what you promised and tells them what to expect. The second shares your most useful article, guide, or resource. And the third tells them why you created the newsletter and asks a pretty real question, at least important to them, right? That question is important because a reply turns a subscriber into a conversation. That's what you really want. You want to go back and forth with them because they matter to you. Before you announce the newsletter, write 3 complete issues so you're always ahead. The first proves the promise. The second proves you can repeat it, which you should, right? Consistency. And remember, this is a very long-term play, so you're not doing this just for 1 week or 2 weeks. The third keeps you from panicking the night before your next send. So now you've got 3, and hopefully you can stay ahead. Plan it for Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Doesn't matter when you write it. Just take time to write this out. And then make sure that you create it on ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or Gemini so that you have a template that you're going with. And then choose the cadence. You can protect that. Just make sure that it's an appointment. Put it on your calendar every Friday at 2 p.m. for an hour. That's all I'm working on, right? For most agents, you should be sending out an email newsletter weekly. Daily is definitely hard to sustain. And monthly, I think everyone does monthly. So it's kind of, you'll fall through the cracks. You don't stand out. A weekly newsletter, at least my belief is it gives you about 52, right? 52 weeks. Those are 52 meaningful touches every year, and block 90 minutes on your calendar and treat it like a listing appointment. And you can either bulk them all together, meaning you're going to create 4 for that month. I don't. I create 1 a week so I can stay a little bit more in touch with what's happening. Right? And like I said, use AI. Use AI just to get you started so you have a template, but use it correctly. AI can help you organize your notes, create an outline, suggest subject lines, shorten a draft, or turn one newsletter into social posts and your video transcript. This way you could just read it and it's still you, but you're reading it. So you know what you're reading and it comes out smooth. It should remove the friction. I think that's the key, but it shouldn't remove you. Right? Your experience, local knowledge is really key. Stories, judgment, and opinions. I think all that is the product, right? You're the product, your knowledge, that translation of information. So never send a sentence you wouldn't say to a client's face. Would you actually say this, right? Now let's talk about turning the newsletter into business. Using roughly 70% useful information. This is in the newsletter. 20% personality. So people can kind of get your vibe a little bit, right? Just know who you are. And 10% invitation or the ask, right? Or like Gary Vee says, jab, 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 right hook. Right hook is the ask. And if you're doing 90% of the time giving back, that's pretty big, right? And giving back with your personality. Now think about this. If every email sells something, people stop opening it. You're training people whether to open this or not based on the value you're providing. But if you never invite people to take a next step, the newsletter won't create opportunities either. So start growing it with the people who already know you, right? Personally invite your past clients, your friends, your neighbors, and local partners. You know those great vendors you have? Put the sign up link in your email signature, website, social profiles, open house material, and video descriptions. Then turn every newsletter into multiple entry points. A short video, a post, a carousel, quote, and even a question. All of them can lead people back to the full issue, because once people open emails, what we've seen is you have their full attention, and that matters a lot. So collaborate with local businesses as well, because they have an email list. So maybe it's time to interview them. Maybe it's time to talk about them. And community leaders too, right? They want more exposure. Feature them, make them look good, and give them something easy to share. Typically it's about them. Don't spend money growing the list until people are opening, clicking, sharing, and replying. Paying to promote a week newsletter, and I'm only calling it week because you need some time to build this out. But promoting a week newsletter is really just filling a leaking bucket faster. You haven't grasped what this truly is. So give the newsletter, let's say 90 days, that's 3 months. Give it 3 months before you judge it. During the first month, prove the promise. During the second, prove you can stay consistent to yourself. During the third, prove you can grow it. Start putting it everywhere. Start bringing people in. Track list growth and the opens and the clicks and replies and shares and calls if you're getting them, appointments like we get, and actual business like we get. But remember that 2 thoughtful replies from the right person can be more valuable than 100 silent opens. Listen, if you've got 100 people on here and 100 people opened it, but you got no replies, but if you got 1 reply and now you have engagement going back and forth, that's pretty big. That's one person that you connected with, and that's how it starts. Subscriber count isn't really the real asset. It's trust. We're all going for trust. The more you trust me, the more I show up, right? Giving you the right value, the more we can actually connect and create a relationship with for the future. The list is simply where you keep it. So it is important, but not as important as connection. Now, I created a complete building a newsletter from scratch slide because I talked about this in person. It's like a slide deck, and it kind of outlines this whole thing. I think it's pretty clear. I think it's really long too, but a lot of people had questions, so we went back and forth with it. It's pretty complete. If you need it, let me know. I'll send this over to you. And if you're curious about how to go further on this, we talk about this sometimes in coaching. So reach out to me if you need coaching one-on-one, or if you need group coaching or AI coaching. We've got everything. The whole point of this is if you need this newsletter, building a newsletter presentation, just message me here on YouTube, or if you're listening on podcasts, send me a message on Instagram and we'll send that over to you. Have an awesome day, and please subscribe and share this with somebody you may think may need this.